Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrunner.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of chaga coffee. I don't even have any coffee right now. All right, dollar days. Remember Clif High talking about dollar days? We'll see $1 days moves up in silver, $5 days, $10 days. We hit $1 up earlier this morning. We're at 99 cents now. I'm sure it'll bounce around a bit. There it is, a buck. Dollar days to $2 days to $5 days as they let the price of silver move up because they've got no silver left. The U.S. Mint should have been the big beacon to everybody when Ventures Gibson wasn't even able to make 16 million ounces this year. And the reason she wasn't able to make it is because she didn't have the silver. No, it's got nothing to do with COVID. When Tom Power came on and the head of the Sunshine Mint said, "Oh, it's COVID," that's why they're not, the U.S. Mint's not getting their capacity. They minted during COVID, the heart of COVID, 30 million ounces. And then the next year, when they even had a month and a half off to do the switch around on 2021, 28 million ounces. So it's not COVID why this year we're going to have just 16 million ounces. It's got nothing to do with COVID. So we're going to have to figure out a better excuse. Why not just tell the truth? We don't have the silver. Even though, by law, the U.S. Mint is supposed to make silver in quantities to meet demand. I have a discussion about this on Twitter tomorrow, Wednesday, with David Morgan and I think two other guys. We want to get to the bottom of it. I've sent an email to the U.S. Mint saying, "Hey, do you guys want someone to represent the Mint?" So, everybody is saying out loud that the U.S. Mint is not doing its job. That's why we have, $15 premiums on Silver Eagles. $15 premium is not going to feel that big when silver's at $3,000 an ounce. The way that the U.S. Mint, now right now, who's making all that premium? It's the authorized participants, the authorized buyers. I think there's 20 of them. Because they're not getting many, they're not selling them unless somebody's ready to pay up. They got fixed costs too. So that's where we are. I think we have hit the dollar days. As I said, coming into the end of this year, we're still on the COMEX this year, right now, this delivery month. We're more than halfway through this delivery month, and there's still 5 million ounces that haven't been delivered, just sitting there in inventory, supposedly. Where is it? I did see Mike Say put up a thing that added a bunch of over 1 million ounces to the eligible inventory. Okay, so they got to bring it in. So tomorrow they'll have 1 million ounce delivery, but you still got 4 million more ounces to go for the end of the year. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. And then you can go down who, you want to know who's involved. Obviously, Bank of America is ending their massive lease with JP Morgan. I don't know where the physical metal went. If I had to guess, I'd say Warren Buffett was taking some, Elon Musk is taking some, and the U.S. Mint, and I have proof now, potentially proof, that the U.S. Mint is making a hell of a lot more Silver Eagles than they're selling to the people. They're stockpiling them. That's why they changed the back of the Silver Eagle to a bird, adding branches to the nest. I talked about that a little while ago. But the people in the silver market, if you want to know, it's the obvious ones. Citibank, right here, had to deliver 16. That's 8 million ounces. See, not a lot of action this month. And JP Morgan took it basically, 13. JP Morgan customers. Because they have to trade through their customers' names now. The whole thing's such a joke. Where's Goldman? See, Goldman is they don't play in the COMEX because that's too visible. They play in the OTC market. But the big one is obviously Bank of America. They went from almost zero precious metals derivatives, and now they have over 60 billion in precious metal derivatives. I think very little of that after this quarter. This was their big delivery quarter. I think very little of it is silver. I think it's all gold, and they're just trying to hide it. That's what Ted Butler came to that conclusion too, and we didn't compare notes on that. But I've been saying that for a while. I've been saying watch this. I said watch the third and fourth quarters for silver deliveries, because that's when Bank of America put on those 1-year leases. And I think it has a fixed back end where it goes to the U.S. Treasury. And I do have kind of a little bit of a hint that that's what's happening, because last year, when the price of silver didn't do much, they had their hedge book took a massive $112 million hit. It's like, there's no way they should have taken that hit. There's no way, because the price of silver went down from beginning of the year to the end of the year. I mean, it depends on when they bought, but they were only buying 28 million ounces. Why did they have this massive hedge position that they lost money on? Bigger than any time in the past. $112 million lost on the hedge book. Completely out of the blue. Unless they're doing some hedging with massive amounts of silver that they're getting in from the B of A, JP Morgan lease, which I think is exactly what's happening. So keep an eye on the Silver Eagle program. American Eagle program is the greatest program that free America has invented since 1913. Pretty much everything ended in 1913. The American Eagle program started in 1986. Gold and silver eagles. They've branched out to platinum and palladium as well. But the main one, where I think over 50% of the money was coming through the silver eagles, which means you got to sell a hell of a lot of silver eagles. So keep an eye on that. If you have American Eagles, yeah, maybe you want to swap. Maybe not, though. I don't know. I shouldn't be fighting this fight against the mint, because that's my greatest holding in silver is the silver eagles. I should be saying, yeah, don't make any more. They'll be worth more. But no, I want my country to succeed. And I want my mint to be straight with the people and say, tell us exactly what you're doing. How did you lose $112 million on your derivative book last year? Fiscal year ended September 30th. Please explain, Ventress. And please explain why you can't make a silver eagle. I mean, right now, demand, the way I calculate it, demand should have been 70 million ounces this year. 70 million. And she did 16. Oh, by the way, I've been talking about that new security notch. Everybody's like, oh, what that means nothing. About 7 years ago, they were conducting trials with a 2D barcode stamped on the coin. That's what they're going to do. Micro barcodes in that little notch at the bottom. We are moving to a system. We're going back to a gold and silver standard. You know why? Because it doesn't take any deciders. Like Nesra and Gesra and the quantum financial system and all that other bullshit, XRP, that all takes deciders, and nobody's going to trust anybody. But we can go back to what is already on the books for us. Our Constitution. Our constitutional money is silver. And silver is valued at a certain amount of grains equals $1. A real dollar, a U.S. dollar, not a Federal Reserve note. Anyway, I'm real excited about this. And for the future, anybody into going into the future, Theta's down to 77 cents. Now, I don't know what more they're going to do. They could easily cause more pain. And remember, they can click a mouse at any time in silver, in cryptos, and put everything at minus $40, like they did with oil. It's just a click of a mouse. That's how powerful these rigging programs are. So if I didn't have any Theta right now, I'd start like dollar cost averaging in. Buy a little now, because you don't want to be without it. Because the minute the exchanges blow up, it's over. You won't know the price of Theta for a couple of years. Well, maybe 3 or 4 months before a real exchange comes on. Or before they go to Reggie Middleton and say, oh my God, all the exchanges have crashed because they're so corrupt. Can we use your patented technology? Why do you think they gave him a patent? And voila, you can have your 98 million tokens back, Reggie. And do what you will. We shouldn't have stopped you in the first place. You were trying to fix the problem and they took him out. That's why they took him out, because he was trying to fix the problem. And the problem is them. Is the regulators, is the hedge funds, is the banksters, is the government. It'll be real interesting as we go into next year. I'm very excited. Especially because I saw dollar days. 101. Clif High's going, I told you so right now. I can feel it. But yeah, cryptos can do anything at any moment. The only thing that it doesn't scare me about the Theta is the Binance position. They have 60 million Theta staked, or they used to. 60 million Theta tokens staked. Would they have to liquidate it if they went belly up like FTX? I don't know. I mean, they obviously didn't do the same idiotic thing that Sam Bankman-Fried did. Otherwise, they'd already be imploded. So we will see. It'll be interesting. But once that's taken care of, I don't see anything stopping Theta from... Theta Labs, the company behind Theta, is doing everything they said they'd do and more. So it's interesting. Jenny Moonstone, who I will be discussing things with on Thursday, has been getting some psychic hits on Theta that we'll be talking about. So keep it tuned for that. If you don't have any Theta, dollar cost averaging. You can go to Caleb and Brown. Go to a Road to the site under affiliates, Caleb and Brown. You can get it offshore, or Binance US has it also, the Theta token and Theta Fuel. I don't know about T-Drop. I don't know if it's actively traded on exchanges yet, but at one day, T-Drop, it keeps getting dropped in everybody's wallet. So go check it out. Yeah, dollar cost average into Theta starting now, but at some point, remember, get the tokens right out of where you buy them from. I mean, it's literally any day now that the entire crypto market could shut down. The entire gold and silver markets would shut down. The entire stock market and bond market could shut down. That's what's going to have to happen to get rid of this criminality. And that's when we're going to go back to a gold and silver standard. And things like Theta are going to be massively important. I think Samsung and Sony are going to download it on all their devices, run an edge node to help fix the broadband problem. Is it a security? I don't know if you can call tokens a security. Clearly, it's a centralized, there's centralization within the development team of Theta. And it's fairly centralized even in the mining with the validators. I think there's 25 or something. I think they're looking for 100 validators, would keep the massively fast speed, but have it diverse enough so it's kind of decentralized. But it's a different thing. It's a software. Theta is a software you download on your computer, and it shares the broadband with everybody else. And the token, you earn Theta Fuel because you're sharing your broadband. So it kills many birds with one stone. And I can see overnight Samsung, Sony, anybody else Apple's coming, Netflix is coming, they're all coming. But people who make devices, like computers, I don't know if you can run an edge node on a phone yet, but I'm sure you will in the near future. So yeah, can you imagine if Sony announces, by the way, we've downloaded an update to all your Sony or Samsung devices. We downloaded upgrade. It's got a Theta edge node that you can earn Theta Fuel for sharing your broadband. We need to fix the broadband problem, and this will give you a little extra income. Wow. That would be very, very crazy powerful, especially for a company that is partly crypto. Theta Labs is not crypto. That's a software. It's all crazy, but it's happening. Theta has all the patents where it needed them too, so there won't be anybody chasing them down unless they want to pay for the patent to Theta Labs. Very interesting times. Anyway, you want to join the private Road to Ruta, get all the action, get the Jenny Moonstone discussion on Thursday, go to roadtoruta.com, click on subscribe today, and we'll send you one of these. They're going up $1 a day. At $30, we stop. we're just going to stop. I'll probably give 24-hour notice that we're going to stop giving away the silver Ruta coins when with every renewal and subscription when silver hits $30. So keep an eye on $30. This is Bix. I'll talk to you later.